Officers in Washington state now facing a dramatic shift in the way they do their jobs, as nearly a dozen new police reform and accountability laws will take effect starting this week. Supporters say the laws will reduce racial inequity. Critics say they're causing confusion and hurting officers' ability to fight crime. Mike Solan, president of Seattle Police Officers Guild. How you doing, Mike? This is going to be something else here right now. Police use of force strictly limited, no car chases, no tear gas, no chokeholds. What do you think about these laws, Mike?
Well, it doesn't sound like it's fair. It definitely seems like it's targeting specific law enforcement people. And the reality is it's the public that are going to be the ones most impacted by this, because your safety, the public safety, will be put at risk because we're basically handcuffed from being effective from doing our jobs, all because of the Seattle activist class that continue to push some of this legislation that has drastic repercussions for everybody now across the state.
Okay, Mike, you said they're going to target certain law enforcement. Why would this not be targeted against all law enforcement in Washington?
Well, this started basically in Seattle. All of this reform work has been long in the process of occurring. Now, the Seattle activist class has impacted our politicians in Olympia, and it is now, to your point, Bill, absolutely across the state. And that's what's tragic about this whole reform movement, courtesy of Seattle's activist class.
Seattle police retirements in 2020 and 2021. Here they are. Last year, 180. This year, 70 thus far. Here's your homicide and shooting rates, 2020 versus 2021 year to date through June. Homicides up 5%. Shooting incidents up 41. Wow. That's something there. Just want to read this, okay? It's from ABC News. These laws cover virtually all aspects of policing, including background checks for officers before they're hired, when they're authorized to use force, how they collect data about that use of force, and the establishment of an entirely new state agency that reviews police use of deadly force. They want to go deep inside the police units and find what, do you think, Mike?
Well, they're looking for some type of misconduct under the guise of accountability. The problem is that their example, which is the Seattle Police Department, Bill, we've been doing this accountability movement for over 10 years. And I remind your audience and the people out there that the Seattle Police Department is the most accountable police agency in the United States of America. We're one of the most progressive agencies. But yet it's never good enough. And they continue to push this accountability march. And what it's done is it's completely made our jobs extremely difficult, and we've lost up to 300 officers now who have just had enough. And I'm really concerned about where we go from here. How can you find a quality human being to want to put the uniform on and do this job under this unreasonable scrutiny? And it's time the reasonable citizens literally need to wake up. Start at your local school board, get involved, support your police, then start at your city council. Then you have to connect with your representative at your state capitol. Right now, this is it. And we are under such pressure to just fill the basic patrol responses in the city of Seattle that, Bill, I don't know where we go moving forward. This is not hyperbole. This is not alarmist. This is the reality.
Sound like you had a big challenge there.
Yeah, the activist class for this.
Sakar Remu is apparently with the Washington Black Lives Matter Alliance. He talked about these laws being a mandate from the people to stop cops from violating our rights and killing people. BLM's the same group that tweeted its support for Communist Cuba when they were beating the daylights out of people in the city streets of Havana 3 weeks ago. Last comment on that, Mike.
Well, what it's going to stop, to your point, it's going to stop proactive officers. And it's leading officers to have a state of confusion till they don't know how to conduct their professional business from a day-to-day basis. It's going to lead to, sadly, more crime, as we're already mentioned in the stats here that you provided. Crime is through the roof. Now cops are left wondering, what's next?
Big challenge ahead. Mike, thank you so much for coming on today. We'll stay in contact with you, and we'll see how these new laws go. Thank you.